Hello everybody. Hey, I want to thank all my subscribers, and if you're not subscribed yet, think about it, hit the thumbs up or something if you don't mind. It helps the channel a lot. And what we're going to do today, I just took this out. This is the 144 001, and I put these big tires on it. For those of you that don't know, this is going to be converted to brushless. I've got two of them. The other one's going to stay stock. This one will be converted to brushless, but I've got a whole series of tests that's explained better in some of the other videos. I took this out and ran it today just because I can't do the speed test because of all the ice and snow. You'll see that in the video in a minute. But these tires are way too big, and it loaded, even just with the 2S battery, it loaded this thing up. The motor got hot, the ESC got hot. Don't know that I damaged anything. I'll probably still try to do a speed test with the 3S battery, but and I'm guess I'm going to go ahead and try to do it on these tires here. I may not, because it loaded it up real bad, just like this. Anyway, I'll explain the rest of it in the video as we get going. So let's just go ahead and get started with this. Big tire, big tire video. Okay, listen, I got to reset everything here. As you can see, we got snow, so I'm not going to be able to do any speed tests, but I want to try running this with the big tires on it. The problem I have is these big tires actually make contact with the body, so I had to tape this because there's a flare. I didn't want it ripping the edge of the body up. But oh, one other thing I want to mention, somebody asked me about putting cooling holes in here, and this is where the guys are doing it. I haven't done it yet, but that's where the intakes are going in for everybody that I've seen doing it. And just so you see what this does with these tires on it. And that's on 2S. So I didn't want to stress this. For anybody that's not aware of what I'm doing, there's a modification on this where you can take the diode off the back of the motor. It's supposed to help it handle 3S better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a speed test with it stock, just running it on 3S. Then I'm going to take the diode off and run another speed test on it with the diode off. And then I'm going to do some temperature comparisons before the diode comes off. Run it on 3S, do ESC temperature and motor temperature, take the diode off, do temperature test on the ESC and motor temperature, and then do the final speed test on 3S without the diode. So a bunch of tests coming up on this car, but I can't do any speed tests like this, so we're just going to run it around on a 2S battery for just a minute on these big tires. Doesn't have nearly as much punch off the line with these big tires on it on 2S, although it's pulling a couple of wheelies, or maybe it's just bouncing up. Uh-oh, that wasn't in the program. So it's a little more top heavy than it was in the past, apparently. But on 2S, with these big tires on there, it's not nearly as snappy off the line. See if I can throw some snow. Not much. I don't know what this is going to do on 3S as much as these tires ballooned with just the 2S on there. Giving my photographer fits. I'm going to say these tires are way too tall for this. My intention for the larger tires is simply to actually load the ESC up. I know the day I ran the paddle tires, if you haven't seen that video, I'll put a link to it. But the day that I ran it on the paddle tires, the ESC got really hot, and so that is my purpose for running these bigger tires, is to load up the ESC so that I can generate a little more heat than what would normally be done. Turn this thing off. Yeah, see, even on 2S, let's see if I can get a little snow on here. You can see a little steam coming off of it. So even on 2S, yeah, there's a little steam coming off. Yeah. So it's doing what I wanted it to do. I wanted to stress the ESC a little bit. And even on 2S, it's doing that with these tires on it. Motor's even a little bit warm. So, yeah. So it is going to do what I want it to do, and I'll get the 3S on here soon. And as soon as I get rid of the snow and do all of my testing, before I burn everything up, I'm going to quit for today. So I appreciate all my subscribers. If you want to see what I'm doing with this, hit the subscribe, give me a like, give me a dislike. If you got something else you want to see me do, throw that in the comments, and I'll try to do that too. Anyway, appreciate everybody watching, and I'll get on the speed test ASAP.